Kelly, I thought in this week's short attention span webinar, we would tackle something that comes up all too frequently in my coaching calls. I don't know who to call on. Do you get that?
Every day of my life, absolutely.
Yeah, and we talk about, do the research and yada, 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 do all this prep work, and they say, yeah, totally get that, totally get that. I just can't find the right person to talk to.
Right.
I don't know who to call on. So I thought we'd do something on that. Let's first talk about Mr. Wrong. The wrong way to go is to say, my name is Bill Farquharson. I sell print, packaging, labels, everything. Who buys all that stuff? Mm-hmm. The thing is, I've made that sales call before, but it was 1982.
Right. I made those calls in the 90s, too. It used to work.
Sure. Sure. A, they picked up the phone. And
right.
B, it was, you say, that's Kelly. You want to talk to Kelly. Here, hold on. I'll put her on for you.
Right.
So, but that's not going to end well. It's going to be a bad outcome. It's going to be, your price is too high. It's just not
commodity. You're going to be in a commodity situation. You're going to be viewed as everybody else, and very likely you're dealing with somebody who's in purchasing, which is the seventh circle of hell, basically.
That's death. That's death. All right, and it might be, by the way, why you're not selling as much as you should be selling. So let's talk about the positive. And a good way to find the right person to talk to is LinkedIn. Now, where am I going to look in LinkedIn?
Well, I mean, if you have the name of the company that you want to call on, you can just look there, and there's going to be a listing of anybody at that company that's on LinkedIn. And, with a robust network, you should be able to find anywhere from a handful of people to 20 or 30, depending on the size of the company. And this is where I get into debates with people a lot of times who say, well, I don't just accept anybody's invitation to connect on LinkedIn. But remember that if you look at LinkedIn as a research tool, then having access to more people actually is more valuable to you. So it's a personal choice. You can decide to do whatever you want. But if you are connected to more people, you'll get connected to more people. And that's information that you need.
Okay. Thank you, Yogi Berra. That was a good one.
Yeah.
The other thing is you want to go for the groups. You want to go join the print groups, the packaging groups, whatever you're selling, but you also want to join the clients groups, join the groups in your area. The ones that are, in those groups might be your lead automatically. The ones where the big influencers are, they're raising their hand as being experts in the field. So a better approach to find the right person to talk to is talk to someone in sales. What are we talking about here, Kelly?
Well, they have the same kind of problems and issues that you do. They know what's going on within the organization, and they know what they need in order to be more successful.
Their salespeople, the prospect.
Yeah, the salespeople at the prospect.
Got it.
And they also have a certain degree of empathy for you, too, because they do what you do. They know how hard your job is. So it may just appeal to their humanity a little bit to say, I'll help you out. Yeah, go talk to Margie in marketing or something like that. So, again, it's just a conversation of two peers and you may even be able to offer to try to help him or her in some way too, to do some networking for that person as well.
Oh, it's a great question to ask. How could I help you? If I had a magic wand, what could I do to help you? That's another good one. Mm-hmm. And I think the best approach that we've talked about is research. And this is a recurring theme for the Kelly and Bill show. It's looking at their website to find the right person. There might be a contact us that you can fill out and maybe a name will come back. Press releases are boring and long and useless except for the fact that they contain a name. So if the company's launching a product, the product manager's name is going to be on there. If they're doing something unique, you might get the head of manufacturing, the head of marketing, you might get in there. So there's lots of information in those press releases. Kelly, what am I missing on the research?
Well, there's definitely reading their annual report is often listed there, or there may be an investors, if they're a very large company, there's an investor button. I always click there. But as you said, it's looking at the contact us, sometimes in the company history. Just familiarize yourself with everything in that website to find person or people. Usually it's, it can be more than one person. That's a good place to start. And just remember that this is always a detective job. You may go from, okay, it's not that person, then I'm going to move on to the next one. And you're just constantly trying to get to the bottom of this mystery, which is who's going to become my new best client.
And the other thing is something like Jigsaw. That's really what Jigsaw is all about. You enter names into the database. You can get some out. You can also buy some. There are other people who are calling on the same person that you're trying to call on, and definitely makes sense to go find that person. So just a few quick ideas on where to find the right person to call on. Kelly, thank you for your time this week.
Thanks, Bill.
You're looking much better in the conference room. I like that.
Oh, the Princess Palace is no more. At least for now.
Oh, all right. Well, when the boys get old enough, we have to counter that. We have to put something in the background.
Man. Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you all next week in another short attention span webinar.